Illnesses are generally of different kinds, and they are known to attack different parts of the body, as well as having specific ways or mechanisms through which they can go about their business. While some might not even appear to have any physical sign to any form of malformations or serious medical condition, others are known to develop certain physical effects that can be really disfiguring and even deliver a fatal end result. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these real-life stories every day. Now, back to the story. Jennifer Hiles is a mother of two who has had to spend a major part of her life with a life-threatening malformation in her face. She first discovered the malformation when she was much younger, but thoughts of it being anything serious didn't occur, as it was even believed that the malformation was as a result of a birthmark which she had when she was given birth to. Things would soon get out of hand afterwards, as the case quickly worsened, forcing the situation to even be looked at closer. Not long after, when she was 12, she was diagnosed with Arterial Venous Malformation, or AVM, a medical condition that leads to abnormal connections between the arteries and veins in the face. Ever since, she has had to live with a facial mass in her face which could even kill her. During the time after which Jennifer was diagnosed, the case became even more serious and very evident, with the now mother of two having to endure bullying, unwanted stares, even being denied by people she thought liked her. When she was still in school, boys would tell her they liked her and even date her, but would tell her to keep it as a secret because they were ashamed of showing her off in public. This and more were some of the things that Jennifer had to face over the years due to her facial appearance. When your skin is literally dying on your face, it's really scary. I would look in my mirror 100 times a day just to see what was changing, and then just kind of pray and hope it would get better, Jennifer said. She took to getting help and took several tests and consultations to help her find a solution to her condition. She then got to undergo several surgeries, all of which did not completely remove the AVM and even almost leaving it the same way. After the several unsuccessful surgeries, this did still not let Jennifer stay still and move on. She would eventually get married to her husband, Dustin, and be blessed with two beautiful girls. Based on her past, where she didn't really get attention for the right reasons, and then the condition of her face, many would have believed that Jennifer would not be able to find love or even get married. However, Faith had other plans when she met her husband, who stood with her regardless of her condition. Obviously, having such a condition was not something that Jennifer liked, especially because of how things were socializing and then the reactions of people to seeing her. And as a result, she kept hoping for a bit of luck to at least find a doctor who can take up her case and this time help her permanently get rid of it, or even at least manage the AVM to prevent her from dying due to hemorrhaging, an effect that is caused by the medical condition. In 2016, Jennifer would undergo another surgery, and unlike the previous surgeries that she had gone through, this one involved a process whereby saline-filled tissue expanders that looked like balloons were placed under her forehead and cheek to allow her face to stretch, hence helping new skin to grow in the area. The surgery took place in New York, and Jennifer had to move there with her family from their home in South Dakota to perform the surgery. The idea of the tissue expander balloons was to help her stretch, then allowing the AVM to be removed completely, as well as having enough skin to patch her face after the procedure. The tissue expanders were just like breast implants but in my face, like a big balloon with saline inside. I didn't know if I'm ever going to look normal. I don't want to look perfect, just normal, Jennifer said. The tissue expanders were implanted for 8 weeks, with the expanders being inflated every week prior to the surgery. In May 2016, the surgery would eventually go through successfully, as it was quite able to deliver the desired result expected from the operation. The surgery went especially well. I'm very happy, so when she's healed up, she's going to look very good. She faced a life of huge problems. She has a husband, she has 2 beautiful children, and we've now been able to give her a chance at a normal life, one of the surgeons who performed the surgery said. Following the success of the surgery, Jennifer admitted that seeing her face afterwards was something that felt really good, as her face was looking different and totally AVM free. When I first woke up from surgery and I was in the recovery room, I actually felt so good that I didn't feel like I'd had the surgery at all. and I had to ask a doctor who was nearby what happened. I asked him to take a picture of my face, and I was so happy because my entire face was just white and it looked AVM free, and I just couldn't believe it was me," Jennifer said. After the surgery, visitations to the doctor did not end there for the mother of two, as she still had to keep a close connection with the doctors and also go for regular appointments. During the first 4 months after the surgery, Jennifer had 6 minor surgeries aimed to still help correct her face, as well as act as a process of post-treatment. Recovery within this time was not as smooth as she would have expected, even despite what was a successful surgery. In the months after, the skin on her cheek began to die, and the AVM began to crawl back in, leaving her with more scarring that would have been anticipated. To correct this, Jennifer has had to continue her regular appointments with doctors who believe they can help manage her condition and prevent her from dying, even though it was likely that the AVM continues to grow over and over again. Even though this doesn't completely eliminate the problem and brings a chance of regrowth, Jennifer is pleased to have gotten the chance to live a normal life like she always wanted. While speaking to local media regarding the situation, Jennifer said, "I'm happy with where I'm at right now, with all the progress. Just to see how far I've come makes me so hopeful for the future. I just hope that all my next surgeries go as planned and the scars all fade, and one day I can just walk into a room and have people see me for me and not my condition all the time." Her husband Dustin also expressed his delight about the surgery and the results, saying, "I just hope that she's happy with all of the surgeries and how she looks in the end. I just want to have a healthy wife." Jennifer will definitely need to undergo several other surgeries in the future to help her with her current situation of managing the AVM and even potentially being able to get rid of the AVM totally. With how she managed to move on with her life, having a loving husband and 2 kids, Jennifer's story is one of that is inspiring. Now, what is arterial venous malformation, or AVM, and how does it work? Arterial venous malformation is an abnormal tangle of blood vessels connecting arteries and veins, which disrupts normal blood flow and oxygen circulation. The arteries and the veins are important parts of the body's systems, involved in taking oxygen-rich blood from the brain to the heart and carrying the oxygen-depleted blood back to the lungs and heart respectively. When these natural processes are disrupted, the surrounding tissues may not get enough oxygen. AVM usually results in a series of symptoms, including the affected part, though it does not have any direct cause. That is, there is no confound theory that explains how an individual gets AVM. The first sign that is consistent with AVM is bleeding, and at the point where this occurs, individuals get a first glimpse of AVM in their system. Other known signs include headaches, loss of neurological function, nausea and vomiting, seizures, weak muscles, paralysis in one part of the body, back pain, dizziness, vision problems, and hallucinations, with all these symptoms depending on where the AVM is located. However, it is usually advised to see a doctor when you get any of these signs, including the major one of bleeding. AVM comes to being from the development of abnormal direct connections between the arteries and the veins, but as mentioned earlier, there is no specific reason or cause to how this can happen, and as such, there are no known causes for AVM. However, it is possible that changes in genetics can be possible reason as to how this happens, though it cannot be passed on to children or inherited. AVM generally results in hemorrhaging, which can ultimately lead to death after an undisclosed part of time. Regarding treatment, AVM is treatable and can be managed through surgery, as can be seen in the case of Jennifer. The early symptoms can also be managed adequately with medication if early enough detected. Follow-up visits to see doctors are also going to be something that will be a part of the treatment process, as it will help doctors understand the situation as well as help to determine the right treatment methods. If you enjoyed this video, kindly give it a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section down below. And don't forget to share it with others. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.